Good morning, students. Very good morning. Welcome back to my 7th lecture of your subject code C505 Environment Part 2. Now, today I am going to deliver my 7th lecture in your module, that is the module 3 of your MACOUT syllabus. Subject is conveyance of sewage. So, conveyance of sewage here, actually this module contains the sewers, the various shapes of sewers, design parameter, operation and maintenance of sewers, sewer appurtenances, hydraulic design of the sewer, partial flow of the sewer, nomograms. These are the things will be highlighted in module 3. But today in the 7th lecture, I will discuss, I will give you the brief about the types of sewers of different shapes and the sewer appurtenances. That will be the topic in my 7th lecture today. Now, what is sewer? Sewer basically the pipes. It has been discussed earlier also in the sewage in module number 2 also. The sewerage system, in delivering that system, I mentioned what is sewer, but in details here we will discuss. Basically, sewer is generally a circular pipe laid below the ground level and generally sloping continuously towards the outfall. So it will have a slope under the ground for gravity flow. But one sewer I can highlight, that is the outfall sewer, which carries the treated and pumped sewage, except that all other sewers are designed to flow under the gravity under the ground. So that is the basic concept of the sewer. So it is a conveyor of the sewage. Rather, I would say the terminology, it is a conveyor of the sewage. So sewage conveyance we are studying, that is the sewer. Now let us see what are the different types of shapes of the sewers. So kindly I am sharing my screen with you. The different shapes of sewer. I want you to acquaint with these terms and with the shapes of that sewers. Now see the figure, circular shape sewer. So the circular shape sewer, that is the circular construction where it has been used. It is mostly used for all types of sewers. That is the general sewers we can see in the road, under road construction. That is the mostly used all types of sewers, circular shape sewer. Now, if we discuss about the second shape of sewer, that is the standard egg-shaped sewers, as if it seems like an egg. So this is called the egg-shaped sewer, and it is preferred for the combined sewers. Combined sewers, already the sewerage system we discussed in our earlier module, where both the rainwater, that is the storm water, vis-a-vis can call it a drainage water, along with the sewage, that is the sanitary sewage flow, that is the combined sewer. So since the combined sewers contains the flow of the sewage as well as the storm water, so its size intends to be increased. So here we will be using the standard egg-shaped sewer, that is the preferable to the circular sewer for this particular type of sewer. That you also generally see under construction of the road. Now, new egg-shaped sewer, it is preferred for combined sewers. What is the difference between the new egg-shaped sewer and the egg-shaped sewer? You see, the depth of the depth cross section the depth of the cross section is more, which is found in the new egg-shaped sewer compared to the standard egg-shaped sewer. So definitely where the flow is more, we have to go for the option in the new egg-shaped sewer, and it is also as the name is indicate egg-shaped, it is also preferred in the combined sewer of the more flows. When the sewage value is when the flow is more in the combined sewer, then we prefer the new egg-shaped sewer. This is the like things. So the different shapes which we are seeing from this figure, that will be used according to the cases. What is the type of sewage and what is the flow of sewage. Horseshoe, next, fourth one, I am going to highlight the shape, which is like horseshoe shaped sewer, and it is used for large sewers with heavy discharge, such as for trunk and outfall sewer. That means the treated sewage from the wastewater treatment plant, when it will fall to the natural resources like river, like stream. So there, that is called the outfall, or the biggest sewage, that is the outfall sewage or trunk sewage. There, these horseshoe-shaped sewage, this shape is being selected for the design purpose. Now, the fifth one I am going to highlight, that is the parabolic shape sewage. You see, the parabola shape is found out in this type of sewage, so that is the name. It is the parabolic shape of sewage. Now, it is this type of sewage definitely being calculated by the mathematical computation of the radius of the major axis, minor axis, taking care of the mathematical portion of all these things. That geometrical shape has to be drawn out with that mathematical computation. That will be taken in the designing part of the sewage. Now, where it is preferable, where it will be used, basically, it is used for the carrying comparatively smaller quantity of sewage. So where the sewage quantity, suppose dry flow, in dry season, in summer, in separate sewage we are talking, where the stormwater is not there. So where the flow will be less, quantity, smaller quantity, then we will prefer for the parabolic shape sewage. Now, sixth sewage I am going to acquaint with you, that is the semi-elliptical section. Semi-elliptical section, you see it is a half of the ellipse, so it is called the semi-elliptical section as seen from the figure, and it is useful only for carrying the large amount of sewage in sewers greater than about 1.8 meter in diameter. So where the sewage diameter is more than 1.8 meter, as well as definitely the diameter is more, means flow will be more. So there our preferred selection is for semi-elliptical section, so that it can convey the huge amount of sewage and through this particular design sewage. So that is the basic concept. Number six we have described. Now, the seventh figure I am going to highlight, that is the rectangular shape section, generally used for covered stormwater drainage. Stormwater drainage, culvert, these type of things, there we will be using this rectangular shape section. So drainage water, that means it is called the stormwater drainage. Basically, it is a drainage water. We are calling in the modern scenario the stormwater drainage. So this is being used for the stormwater drainage, the rectangular shape of sewers. Then, eighth sewage I am going to account with you. What is that? The U-shaped sewage, as the shape is U, and where it is being, where it can be applied. Now it is used for the larger sewers and especially in open cuts. So this is in open cuts. So definitely where there is a shallow depth, the open cuts question comes when there is a shallow depth of the sewage from the ground level. Then this type of U-shaped sewage is being used. Now, ninth shape of the sewage I am going to describe you, that is the semicircular shape sewage. So why semicircular shape? Because now it is outdated, although it was there, so it is not being used. So just to get acquainted what is the semicircular sewage, because lot of sewages, the above 8 numbers of figures I have highlighted. So that sewages are used where the sewage flow is more, where it is more than 1.8 meter, where it is a shallow depth, that is the open cut that we have described, where it is a less flow, which type of sewage will be applied. So different shapes we have highlighted, and that two are nowadays backdated or outdated, which is that the semicircular shape as well as basket handle shape sewage, which is nowadays is outdated, we can say. So we can stick to a design to these 8 numbers of shape of the sewage: circular, standard X-shaped, new X-shaped, horseshoe shaped, parabolic shaped, semi-elliptical shape, rectangular, and the last one I have described, that is the U-shaped section. So these are all about the different shapes of the sewage. It is the conveying system of the sewage. It is a conveyor of the sewage, conveying system of the sewage. through which the sewage flows. These are the different shapes as per in your module 3 I have described. Now, apart from the sewer, that is the pipe, that is the conveying system of different shapes, which you have seen just now. Apart from the sewer, we must account with the different I must say the sewer appurtenances. What is the sewer appurtenances? Now these are the sewers appurtenances I must highlight to you. Let me zoom, then I'll be able to explain it. Yes, I think it is visible by all. So now it is convenient for me also to explain, because there are various structures which we call it technology the sewer appurtenances. Why these are required? Because these are also parallelly constructed along with the sewer at suitable intervals along with the sewer to help its efficient operation and maintenance are called the sewer appurtenances. So these are the systems in sewerage systems. That means these are constructed in sewerage system with a basic objective, that means with help with an objective to help the efficient operation and maintenance are called the sewer appurtenances. So what are these? What are these? Manhole. In roads, we often see on walking on the roads the manholes at different intervals on the roads. So that you know that is basically maintained or constructed on the roads for the day-to-day or in an interval maintenance or operation of the sewerage system. So that you know. So similarly, in manholes of different categories of manholes that we'll definitely discuss in details of manholes, because a very interesting topic of manholes. Different utilities, for different utilities of the maintenance operations, different types of for different configuration of the sewerage system, we will also apply the different manholes, and that will be very interesting, and that we'll discuss in detail. So one of the manholes I can say number 2 is appurtenances, as I have appurtenances, that is the drop manholes. That is also a type of manhole, but that is a separate manhole. So that's why it has been kept as a separate sewer appurtenances. Number 2. Number 3, lamp holes. Number 4, cleanouts. Number 5, street inlets called gullies. Number 6, catch basins. Number 7, flushing tanks. Number 8, grease and oil traps. Number 9, inverted siphons. And the last one, storm regulators. And that will be the end of that sewer appurtenances. So first sewer appurtenances, I will start from the manholes, which is very, very important and fundamental for the operational maintenance of the sewerage system. The manholes is basically the first of all I must say the material of construction. Masonry means the big construction of shallow depth, or the RCC if it is a higher depth, because more the depth we go in the soil now, so lateral pressure of the earth will be carried by the RCC only, because brick cannot take the tension. So there the masonry, that is the brick construction, will not be allowed. For greater depth manhole, we will go for the RCC, reinforcement cement concrete. For since it is the underground construction, so this structure has to be taken care for lateral pressure of the earth. With this consideration, the two types of scenario is there. One is the masonry, and another is the RCC chamber. And these manholes are basically constructed at suitable intervals along the sewer lines, so that the accessing to the manholes. So accessing by whom? The persons can get access into the manhole for the operation, cleaning and maintenance purpose. So that is the fundamental thing of the manhole, for providing access into them. Thus the manhole helps in inspection, cleaning and maintenance of the sewer. Obviously, inspection, cleaning and maintenance of the sewer. So manholes, that is the basic purpose we are providing the manholes. Now these are provided at bend. Now where the manholes can be, how the decision will be taken by us as a civil engineer or environmental engineer to provide the manhole, where definitely the bend means the one sewer pipe when bends to other route, that means there is a direction in the change of the path. So definitely there will be a bend in that sewer line. So definitely there has to be a manhole into the bend portion. So every bend, it has to be taken care that manhole should be there. In junction, junction means suppose two different diameters, even not in the bend, in the straight portion, two different diameters, larger and the smaller diameters are joined by a manhole system. That means in the junction. Change of gradient, suppose in the path of the sewer line, if there is a change in the gradient or slope, so there is a provision, there should be a provision of the manhole. And change of diameter, just now I have said. So these are the points where generally we provide the manhole, or once it is a bend, junction, change of gradient, and change in diameter. Now the sewer line between the two manholes is laid straight with even gradient. We must check that from one manhole to one manhole the straight distance should be even gradient, and the straight sewer line manholes are provided at regular interval depending upon the diameter of the sewer. Suppose less the diameter, spacing will be less. That will be shown very soon. What I am trying to say, the less the diameter, that is the smaller the diameter of the sewer, then the less spacing of the manhole is there, because with an intention that there is a difficulty in access of the less pipeline. So in that case, the manhole spacing has to be reduced. But if we talk about the more dash sewer line, then obviously the spacing of the manhole will also be more. So the spacing of the manhole is dependent on the diameter of pipe as recommended by IS 1742. So in general guideline, what I am telling you as per CPHEO, that is Central Public Health Engineering Organization. Now sewer have to 0.3 diameter or sewers which cannot be entered for cleaning. I am talking for the small diameter, then the maximum spacing between the manholes recommended is 30 meter. And if we talk about for 2 meter diameter, then the spacing will be 10 times. That is 30 meter will increase to 300 meter spacing. If we talk about the sewer diameter of 2 meter, so what you can see, the spacing of the manhole depends on the diameter. Smaller the diameter, spacing is smaller. Larger the diameter, spacing of the manhole is larger. And what spacing will be provided in which diameter, that will be shown in the tabular form as per the IS code. Now a spacing allowance of 100 meter per 1 meter of sewer is a general rule as per the CPHEO manual. The internal dimension, this is the spacing of the manhole I am telling. Another parameter which is very important for designing the manhole, that is the inside dimension. That means what will be the design criteria, what will be the inside dimension of the manhole, that is very, very important. And this is the internal dimension of the manhole are provided. That is also the CPHEO manual that I'll be showing you in the tabular form. So the minimum width of the manhole should not be less than the internal. What is the thumb rule? Thumb rule, the basic guideline which gives us for determining the inside dimension of the manhole, and there should be a checking criteria. It should be checked that in no case internal dimension of the manhole should be less than the internal diameter of the sewer plus 150 millimeter benching on both sides of the sewer for space. Actually 150 millimeter space in either side of the pipeline, that has to be considered along with the pipe diameter for calculating the internal dimension of the manhole. Let us see the spacing first. Now the diameter of the sewer line we have just categorically categorized in 3 parts. One is 0.9. I'm sorry, for 4 parts, 4 categories, that is small sewers up to 0.9 meter, that their spacing is 45 meter, that is one category. 0.9 to 1.5 meter, then the spacing we have to maintain for operation and maintenance equal to 90 to 150 meter. For 1.5 meter to 2 meter, then the spacing will be 150 to 200 meter, and greater than 2 meter, then the spacing will be 300 meter. So the categorically diameter wise, the all the sewers have been categorized in 4 categories depending on the diameter, and accordingly the spacing has to be determined as I have shown you in the table. Now, and we are talking after the diameter of the after the spacing of the manholes. We are discussing about the minimum internal dimension of the manhole, which you have to consider in our design. There also we have categorically depth wise spacing we have considered, spacing of the manhole we have considered as per the diameter wise. In this internal dimension of the manhole, we have taken the priority of the depth of the sware. That means at which depth the sware has to be laid. So depth of the sware point here also we categorized in 4 parts of the depth, that is 0.9 meter or less depth, that is one part, then 0.9 to 2.5, then 2.5 to 9, and then 9 to 14 meter. So this is the 14 meter is the maximum in our design consideration. It has been considered for laying the sware. So if the depth of the shear 0.9 meter or less, that means if it is a shallow depth, then internal dimension of the sware is, what is the internal dimension of the sware? Internal dimension of the sware is 0.9 meter by 0.8 meter. That means it is a rectangle. If we talk about for the depth of the 0.9 meter to 2.5 meter of the depth of the sware, then the then there are two types of manholes may be considered. One is the rectangle, another is the circular. If we select the rectangular section of the manhole, then we have to consider 1.2 meter by 0.9 meter. And if we go for the circular sware, circular manhole, then we have to consider the 1.2 meter diameter of the circular section. Now, next higher depth, if we consider 2.5 meter to 9 meter, obviously the circular, there won't be any rectangular cross-sectional manhole. All the manholes will be constructed more than 2.5 meter will be the circular chamber. That means the cross-section of the manhole is circular. That means that will be the RCC section, because as I have told you very beginning, the masonry structure will not hold good for depth, higher depth of the construction of the manhole. It will be applicable only for the shallow depth due to the pressure due to the earth. So this is fundamentally you have to take care. You have to take note on this. Kindly take the importance on this point which I am going to highlight. There's 2.5 meter and more depth if we can talk about, then we have a choice of the circular section of the manhole. And what will be that section? 2.5 meter diameter. For circular chamber, 1.5 meter diameter. If we go for 9 meter to 1.14 meter, that is the highest depth, then the highest section, circular section of the manhole is 1.8 meter. So these are the things, the designer guidelines of the manhole which you have to regarding the spacing, regarding the internal spacing. A standard guideline which at what spacing the manhole has to be provided in on the sware path, and what will be the inside dimension. A general guideline I have just given you my students that you have to follow as per the CPHEU manual and IS code also I have mentioned. Now there are classification of manholes according to the depth. As I have told you, according to the depth, the shallow manholes are there. Then B is the normal manholes and C is the deep manholes. So for shallow manholes, it is basically constructed with the masonry. As it is shallow, so pressure, lateral earth pressure of the earth is not a predominant factor in case of shallow manholes. So this construction of basically the size of the manholes are 9.9 meter, as I have told you. In the shallow section, it is 0.9 meter by 0.8 meter. Okay, so this type of shallow manhole for the 0.7 to 0.9 meter depth we are considering it as a shallow. So this is where it is constructed. This shallow manhole is constructed where? Now it is constructed at the start of the branch sware or at the place not subjected to heavy traffic, where the heavy traffic is not there. That means just the branch sware started from the main sware. So at the start of branch sware, the position where the traffic condition is not subjected, so there it can be applied. Since the traffic condition is not subjected, so we can consider with a height with a light cover at top, because the traffic condition may not be considered over here. So in that case, the top cover may be light cover at top, and this is also called the inspection chamber or manhole. So this is 0.9 meter by 0.8 meter shallow, at shallow depth 0.7 to 0.9 meter with a big masonry construction. You see the hatch line big construction is there. You see the cross section of the manholes, and the bottom is the PCC. The two sections, one longitudinal or traverse section, you can see from this manhole section. This is absolutely the rectangular section we will follow in the shallow manhole. Now the normal manhole means it is in intermediate depth. What do you mean by normal manhole? Now these manholes are 1.5 meter deep with a dimension 1 to 1 meter square. So dimension also increased as the depth is increased. Dimension also increased. Or rectangular, if we go, this is square I am telling you. If we choose the rectangular, then 1.2 by 0.9. So these also we can consider. These are provided with heavy cover at its top. That means top, it is assumed that to support the anticipated traffic load. So these are the normal manholes. So these it is being shown the figure, both transverse section and longitudinal section, and these are constructed from 0.9 meter to the 2.5 meter depth, because earlier we have seen the 0.9 meter up to 0.9 meter, but these are generally constructed at 1.5 meter but can be applied for 0.9 meter to 2.5 meter depth. Then above 2.5 meter depth, it is called the, as I have told you, this is for depth above 2.5 meter. Then the concept of circular manhole has come, isn't it? So up to 2.5 we can manage with the rectangular section. Now as I have told you, shallow, normal I have already discussed. Now I am coming to the deep manholes. And what is deep manholes? The deep manholes are basically these manholes are constructed when the depth of the manholes is more than 1.5 meter. So the section of such manhole is not uniform throughout. That I will show in the figure. If you can see the figure, then it will be very clear. You see that not in uniform. One section A, section B. One section is the transverse section, and another section is the longitudinal section. You see the transverse section, from the top to bottom, first the lower size, then from bottom side after certain limit the size has been increased. So it is step down. It is a step down. So basically there are what I am trying to say, these sections of the manhole are not uniform and size in upper portion is reduced, providing an offset, and steps are provided in such manholes for descending into the manhole. These are provided with high cover, heavy cover at its top to support the traffic load. As it will be in the deep manhole, means definitely there will be a provision on the road where the traffic load is there. So there another cross section bottom. This is the top plane is the circular one, that also I have shown you. Although this is shown as a diagram just to give you the, because here we are not learning the structural system like concrete structure or big structure. Here the concept is what is the manhole, the sewer appurtenances. So maybe shown as a brick hatch line, but generally these type of deeper manholes are made to resist the load against the lateral earth pressure. That as a civil engineer I must tell you. So three manholes. After the three manholes, according to the depth you are concerned. Now other types of manholes, as per the utility services are concerned, there are other manholes also. So we can see there are various types of manholes, and this is a very interesting topic because that is the main sewer appurtenances we must discuss for the inspection maintenance purposes of the sewerage system. Now, what is the state sewer? Let us see what is the other types of manholes. Now we are entered into the other types of manholes. This is the simplest type of manhole, which is built on a straight run of sewer with no side junction. That means no junction in the straight portion itself. These manholes has been provided where, because the side changes in a straight run, suppose the no deviation in slope, no deviation in the path, it goes straight. But then even these manholes were provided as there there is a change in the size of the sware occurs. So in this connection, where the small dia pipe or small cross section of pipe combines with the greater cross section of the pipe, so at that junction in the straight portion also, this straight through manholes, that means straight through manholes will be utilized. And we have to check that this while changing the sware size, the soffit, that is the crown level of the two swares, should be at the same level, except where special conditions required. Otherwise, that is a special case, but conventional case. But that also depends on the terrain, different, because there are very uncertainties under the ground. There are various utilities lines, service lines are also there. So keeping in that consideration, not special case, I am telling you, for the general case, we have to addict that the soffit or crown level of two different swares of different sizes, where the in junction these straight through manholes are applied. There this level has to be checked. This should be the same level, the crown level or the soffit level of the two sware, or different sizes. Generally, that has to be seen. Now, what is the junction manhole? Junction manholes means these type of manholes are constructed at every junction of two or more swares. Suppose from one sware there are three swares or two swares are bifurcated. So definitely a junction has been formed where from one sware the other swares are bifurcated. A number of swares are emerged from one sware. So this is called one junction, and here the junction manhole has to be provided. And suppose one of the junction I am telling you where there is a bend. That means one junction is formed where the sware just change its path. That means it turns bends. So and on the curved portion, bend means curved, and the curved portion of the sware with curved portion situated within the manhole. So these type of manholes can be constructed with the shape other than the rectangular to suit the curve requirement and to achieve the economic. That means what we have learned today, we learned that not only the higher depth need the circular cross section of the manhole, also in case of junction manholes where the curved portions are there, so for taking care of the transition curved portion, the sware section of the manholes are always admitted, because this type of manholes can be constructed with the shape other than the rectangular to suit the curve. So junction manhole, there is always preferable the circular cross section of the manholes. The soffit of the smaller sware at junction should not be lower. The smaller sware at the junction should not be lower than the larger sware. Definitely, then that means if the soffit of the sware is lower than the larger sware, then the water will not flow. So it is recommended not to check that the soffit of the smaller sware at junction should not be lower than the larger sware. So larger sware soffit should be more with the smaller one. The gradient of the smaller sware may be made steeper from the previous manhole to reduce the difference of invert level. For that reason, as we know, the level to maintain the level difference just now which you have said, that is the soffit of the smaller sware at junction should not be lower. That means to maintain this, what we have to do? It might happen the gradient of the smaller sware may be made steeper from the previous manhole to reduce the difference of invert at the point of junction in a convenient amount. Fine. Next, the side entrance manholes. Very, very important. For very important and interesting, this manhole, side entrance manholes, because sometimes as per the practical experience for operational maintenance of this sware, it is found difficult to obtain direct vertical access in the sware. Why? Because of some obstructions. What are those obstructions? Those obstructions are the existing pipelines of water pipelines, gas pipelines, electric pipelines. So trees, even the tree root is there. So this is very difficult to access, direct access from the top ground level due to these obstructions into the sware pipes subjected to the consideration. Then what will be the alternative thinking? The alternative thinking is the access shaft should be constructed in the nearest convenient position of the line of sewer and connected to the manhole chamber by a lateral passage. So in nearby the location of that exact location of the sewer, one access shaft is constructed, and from that shaft some lateral passage, that is lateral pipeline, lateral conveying system should be added with the sewer system, which has to be inspected. So the floor of the definitely side entrance passage, which should be fall at about 1 in 30 towards the sewer, should enter the chamber not lower than the soffit level of the sewer. That in construction purpose, civil construction purpose, the laying process has to be checked. In larger sewers, necessary steps of a ladder with safety chain or removable handrail should be provided to reach the benching from the side entrance above the soffit. So this is the thing. I close it a day today because this lecture will be continuing in the next lecture, that is lecture number 8 in the next day. So I will call it a day and I will post this lecture, my dear students, in the Google Classroom for giving you the scope to have a glance, please. And once you have a glance, please, then we will have an interaction session in our live class, either Zoom or in the Google Meet, whatever it is, the in Google online platform which we have. There we will be discussing the live interactive classes, and definitely the MCQ tutorial assignment questions very soon will be uploaded in the Google Classroom, so that you can submit in due time after solving those questions. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Thank you.